Hey everyone, today I want to talk about AI agents and the role of AI agents in a product manager's craft. First, let's look at why product managers must understand AI agents. They should understand AI agents for three reasons. Because AI agents fundamentally change what a product manager ships. We move from shipping small enhancements or features or a collection of features to delivering agents that handle entire workflows or jobs end to end. Second, AI agents change the way how we scope work and how we define work. When you're defining a feature or a collection of features, you write a linear spec, a product definition document and a user interaction diagram, which is very linear, and then hand it over to the engineering colleagues. Whereas in the case of AI agents, a PM should behave like a system designer because you are designing an entire system with its um, inputs, its outputs, its reasoning rules, its escalation paths, and its guardrails. Third, AI agents change how PMs measure success. Normally, the success of a feature is measured by how many times it was used, um, and so on. Whereas the success of an AI agent doesn't depend on how many times it was used. It depends on what outcome did it deliver. For example, if there is a customer service agent, it doesn't matter if it is used a million times, but how many times did the agent successfully deliver the outcome that the user wanted. So for these reasons, product managers must understand how to understand what they're shipping when they ship AI agents, understand how they will define and design AI agents, and understand how they will measure the success of an AI agent. Now, having said that, what is the difference between an AI feature and an AI agent? And we'll see examples of these pretty soon. The AI feature, you may be building AI features by now, since it's been several years since AI became quite mainstream. So, for example, if you're building a translation feature or a summarization feature or a rewriting feature, something like that, you're not building an AI agent. That's not an AI agent. That is an AI capability. It's a smart capability because it does one thing and it does that thing exceptionally well. Translation is a good example of that, or summarization is a good example of that. Whereas when you are designing an AI agent, what you're designing is you're designing a digital assistant that perceives what's happening, that reasons and acts autonomously based on broad guidelines. That is quite abstract. So what does that mean exactly? For example, and we will actually build an AI agent in a minute or so. For example, an interview agent that conducts a complete interview with no step by step guidelines. So, an example that we will see is um, an assessment agent that is checking the knowledge of a waiter of a cafe's menu, and how we can build a system like that without actually defining exactly a step, uh, using a step-by-step method, what the AI agent should do. We'll give it a broad guideline, and we will see how the AI agent perceives what the user is saying, and then reasons, and then acts. That is, conducts the interview very effectively. Another good example of an AI agent is a documentation agent that automatically updates um, the documentation for a software product as and when the product changes. There also the agent perceives the environment, sees um, what the what is changing in the environment, and reasons. Does this change require me to act? It'll reason and then make a decision, and then go ahead and take action on that. So again, to reiterate the fact, an AI agent perceives, reasons, and acts autonomously based on broad guidelines. So that is how it differs from a feature. Now, with that, let's go ahead and look at actually build an AI agent. And I'm going to use Levin Labs AI agent capability to demonstrate this. We are going to build. So this is what we're going to build. I've already written down the prompt for this. And I asked ChatGPT to ChatGPT 5.1 to write the prompt for me. So I said I want to build an AI agent that coaches new waiters or new cashiers in a cafe to explain the menu of the cafe. I want to give the AI agent broad guidelines so that it can verify if the cashier um, can convey the menu items effectively. And then I gave it a list of uh, a long list of menu items. This one is just a standard list from the web. So it gave me a system prompt, and I said I'm going to use Levin Labs to build this. It gave me a system prompt. So if you notice, it's giving broad guidelines. It's worth spending a few seconds, 30 seconds on this. First of all, it says it defines the persona. You are a training coach for new cashiers and baristas at a cafe. You'll receive the cafe's full menu as a structured text or CSV or JSON, and I'll show you how I added that as a knowledge base in Levin Labs. And then your job is to check whether the trainee can explain the menu clearly and accurately to a customer. Remember, it did not say you should say this, and if the trainee says this, you should say this, and so on. So it's pretty broad. And then there is an example of how to run the session, and a few examples, and then rules about these are the things that you should these are guidelines for, and guardrails. Use only information from the menu. Don't make up information. Do not invent prices, sizes, or ingredients. This is where you're defining the guardrails. So as you can see, this is very different from how we will define a feature using a PDD. Here we are designing a system. We are thinking about what the AI agent should do, and almost like writing the job description for a new position in your company. You're saying this is what it should do, these are the expectations, these are the inputs, this is the outcomes that I expect, these are the things that you should do. You should be ethical, you should not do anything illegal, broad guidelines like that. And then evaluation focus, and then 5 assessment questions. These are questions that the agent must ask, but the agent can ask other questions as well. Follow the structure every time, do not skip questions, and do not invent new ones. But let's see, it'll follow this 99.99% of the time. So let's go and see how this agent will perform. So I copied this. I literally, copied this prompt like this, and went to Levin Labs. And if you are familiar with Levin Labs, it's anyone, like I don't code, and anyone who has the ability to think systematically, anyone who's a systems thinker can build these things. So you go here and say new agent, and I built a cafe menu agent, and you paste the prompt here. This is the system prompt. You paste the prompt here. And I wrote a first message, hello, thanks for joining the cafe team as a waiter. Are you ready to test your knowledge? Then I chose a voice. And then this is in the knowledge base area. This is where I added the menu as a text file. So this is the entire menu as a text file. I gave it in a JSON format. You can take the text file and convert it into JSON using any of the standard parsing tools like Llama parse, and then you can put it here. You can also put the simple text file. You don't really have to give a JSON file, but I gave it a JSON file because it makes it a bit better. You can also create a RAG index. That means store it chunk it, store it, index it, store it. You can do that, but for because this is a very small piece of information, it's really not required, and we're not going to discuss RAG in this lesson. Um, that's the agent. That's it. So what we have effectively done is we have designed an AI agent. We have designed the entire system of the AI agent. We have defined guardrails, and we know what the outcome should be. The outcome is the agent should verify if the new waiter can effectively explain the menu items or not. So let's preview this agent.
Hello. Thanks for joining the cafe team as a waiter. Are you ready to test your knowledge of the menu?
Yeah, yes, I am. Yeah.
Great. I'll play the role of a trainer and ask how you'd explain our menu to customers. We'll go through 5 scenarios. First, a customer says, I usually just drink regular coffee. What's a good espresso drink to try here? And how would you describe it? Please answer as if you're talking to the customer.
Oh, if you would like to try an espresso drink, I would recommend the Mexican mocha, particularly if you like Mexican chocolate, a hint of Mexican chocolate in your coffee. It's an excellent choice.
That's a good start. You correctly identified the Mexican mocha and highlighted its key ingredient. To make it even better, you could also mention that it contains steamed milk, as that's a common component of mochas and helps set expectations for the customer. A good example answer would be, if you enjoy a bit of chocolate, I'd suggest our Mexican mocha. It's made with espresso, steamed milk, and authentic Mexican chocolate, offering a rich and slightly sweet flavor.
Okay.
A customer comes in hungry and says, I want something for breakfast, not too spicy, maybe with egg or cheese. How would you walk them through a couple of good options from our breakfast or baked items?
Um, we have two options for you if you'd like egg and cheese. We have the egg and cheese sandwich. It's served on. You have choices of bread. You can choose wheat bread, sourdough, a croissant, or you can choose a bagel. The other choice is you can have an egg and cheese and ham sandwich that is also served on all those breads.
You did well to offer 2 relevant options and mention the bread choices. However, for breakfast sandwiches, our the menu specifies they are served on either a bagel or a croissant, not all the bread options listed for regular sandwiches. A good way to explain this to a customer would be, for something with egg and cheese, you could try our egg and cheese sandwich, or if you'd like ham too, the egg, ham, and cheese. Both are served on your choice of a fresh bagel or a flaky croissant.
Okay, sounds good.
A customer asks for a turkey sandwich. Explain how you describe our turkey sandwich options, including bread choices, extras like avocado or bacon, and how you'd naturally suggest a drink or chips to go with it.
So you get the idea. So even though we did not explicitly say exactly how the interview should be conducted, the AI agent was able to perceive what is happening, what I'm saying as a new trainee. It was able to make a judgment call about what it should say, and then um, what question it should ask, and then on act based on my give feedback to me based on my response. So this is a good example of a simple but effective AI agent, and we saw how that agent can be built in a few minutes. I built it in front of you with a few clicks. So to reiterate, AI agents perceive, reason, and act autonomously based on broad guidelines, and it is absolutely critical that product managers should understand AI agents.